If you think that in order to be successful in business, you've got to learn a load of skills, your scales are too far imbalanced. Now you have all the skills, you just don't have the certainty of how to apply them. Why? Because if you're chasing skills to get certainty, you are looking at an external effect to fix an internal situation. If you are going into any kind of trade, and I talk about entrepreneurship as a trade, right? It's something you need to learn as a skill. Then there are certain skills you need to master. If you are going to become a master craftsman, if you're going to become a chef, if you're going to become a pilot, a lawyer, pick any trade, you can go and learn the skills of that. Now, the reason that entrepreneurship is a master, one of the most important skills you could ever master is because of its cascading effect. Okay? But most people get the balance wrong. They think, I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to start my business. What do I have to learn? And they leave psychology out of the equation. When you realize that psychology is the foundational aspect of the entire success or failure of business people, you realize what that is the thing you have to get right first. That is the horse that is pulling the cart. Imagine when you were learning to drive. Before you were 17 or 16 in some countries, right? You know you wanted to drive, you just weren't allowed to try. For some of you, you've never been allowed to try to learn business. But then you became 17, and what did you want from mom and dad? You wanted driving lessons. You wanted a car. You wanted independence. Okay? But there's so much to learn. You've got to, especially if it's a stick shift, you've got to depress the clutch and check the mirrors and indicate and make sure the road's safe and look at how to balance the clutch so you don't bunny hop out. And then you've got all the road signs to look at. And there was all the crazy people in the other cars. Oh my God, it's overwhelming. But you persisted because it was something you wanted to do. Well, then you got good at it. You started to get confidence. I've been in the UK for the last 4 days with my boat. I bought an ocean rowing boat with my partner in the adventure, Lee. And next year, we're going to be rowing across the Atlantic. Now, up until last week, I'd never been in an ocean rowing boat on the ocean and rowed. And we hired one of the top rowing coaches, ocean rowing coaches, a guy called Duncan Roy. Some of you saw it on my social. And it was absolutely transformative. And Lee and I kept staring at each other throughout the last 4 days, guys. I flew back yesterday, saying, how would anybody know this? There's some teams that are in the race that are just figuring it out. And now, even though I still have a long way to go before I cross the Atlantic, that's going to be I'm going to be living on that little boat for 2 months. Constantly rowing 2 hours on, 2 hours off, 24/7. I have a lot more certainty that it's doable.